Spartans to Mission Debrief. We've played every mission of the mainline Halo video game series, and now we're playing every mission from the rest of the games in the franchise in chronological order. Each episode will be discussing our experiences and sprinkling in a little lore along the way. If you'd like to play along and have your thoughts read on the show, email us at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. We have an email to read today.
What?
That is exciting. Thanks for emailing in.
What is email?
We'll be playing Arcadia City from Halo Wars on the next episode. If you like what you hear and want to support the show, visit Podcast Evolved on Patreon. This episode, we're debriefing the Relic Interior mission from Halo Wars. I'm your host, Colin Perkins, alongside David Arnold.
Hello, everybody.
And Krysta Brown.
Excuse me? Who ordered all the worms?
Ew, gross.
Very gross.
Can you imagine if we got to fight those in a first-person shooter game? Like, all of these hunters? There's so many.
It is called Firefight.
Are there that
I'm
many
not sure
hunters?
if you've heard of that, but you can spawn as many as you want.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I need to look into this mode.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You might find it. You might find it fun.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks for the tip. Last mission was Relic Approach. Alpha Base had to get back up and running as quickly as possible so the UNSC could remove the Covenant's presence from a mysterious location on Harvest. While Sergeant Forge scouted the area, Captain Cutter approved Professor Anders' deployment onto the surface once the site was secured. However, the Prophet of Regret, and Arbiter planned to destroy the structure after they extracted the information they sought. Forge and the UNSC's ground forces stormed the site and prevented the detonation. This mission, now we're inside. We're in the Relic Interior. Inside the mysterious site, Professor Anders activates a map that appears to be the reason the Covenant continued their campaign on Harvest. Remember, they've been sticking around for some reason. The investigation is abruptly interrupted by retaliation force set on covering the Covenant's tracks and eliminating the UNSC menace. Date of the game is still February 4th, 2531. We have a fun cutscene, I think, at the beginning. It's pretty good.
Short.
I mean, it's not super long, but it's interesting, right? What do you have, David?
Yeah, so it pretty much starts off with a good shot of Anders and Forge walking in with some Marines, and they're just pretty much chit-chatting here about the Covenant sure died defending this area, that they gave him a real good beating. And Anders, as all good scientists does, just pretty much goes up and touches the button straight away, and turns on the Forerunner relic, I guess, which is, surprise, surprise, a map. So you get a galaxy map, kind of spans out all important information, as you can imagine, on this thing. And they're then instantly ambushed by Stealth Sangheili. So then they attack, and it's just kind of a cool scene of a couple of Marines getting pretty much click-clacked with needles and stuff like that. And then you have pretty much Forge shooting and killing some dudes with a shotgun. It was pretty cool. And he's pretty much just hey, get me out of here, help.
Yep.
And then pretty much the mission kicks off.
Yep. Yeah, pretty short and sweet, but I think it is fun to see those elites come in with active camo. That's fun to see. And of course they speak English for us to understand, but what can you do? This is a quick mission. Very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Very quick.
I'll go over the objectives like we've been doing. So we did that last mission. I think we'll keep going with that. I'll kind of cover off on the high level objectives and stuff that kind of the details of the mission. Chris is going to cover off on what we have to play with, and then we'll go from there. So the objectives are as they're written is fight your way to Forge and Anders' location, because we get to be Grizzlies right away.
What?
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that a little more in a bit. The next objective is escape the chamber with Forge and Anders. Then move Anders and the others to the bridge control panel. Then you need to cover Anders as she hacks the bridge controls. And finally, get Forge and Anders to the landing zone. The optional objectives are kill 5 Covenant pursuers by deactivating light bridges as they cross. That one's kind of fun. and then kill 45 hunters. That's a lot of hunters.
It seems
It's
like
crazy.
a lot, but then as the mission progresses, it's like, oh, I finished it.
Yeah. I wonder why it's not 46, because aren't they always in pairs? You just leave one hunter all alone. Poor hunter.
Haha, what a loser.
Oh, man. Sad hunter. It's sad. Part time of this mission is 8 minutes to 18 minutes. And as I've been playing more and more Halo Wars, it's the multiplayer. If you're before 8 or right around 8 or on 8, that's when you get the max multiplayer, and then it just decreases from there. Scoring goals. So to get gold, you need 45,000 points. Silver is 35 to 45. Bronze is 25 to 35. And then tin, the lowly tin folks, 0 to 25,000. Theoretical best score is 51,200. How'd you guys do? David?
I got 45. 312.
Yeah.
Sweet gold,
5-3.
baby.
Very nice. Krista?
I was like right at the threshold of silver. I was 34 something.
Oh, man, just under.
I didn't even see the light bridges objective when I was going through. That didn't pop up for me at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop. It's just something that you either
have to
like-
do, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll tell you need to do it.
Does
But
it?
you have to
Yeah.
like do
I
it
don't know.
you have to be around the light bridge or something.
Yeah. So if you miss those objectives because they're worth a certain number of points, then it just kills your overall score because then it's not as part of the multiplier.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really need to get all the objectives if you want to get gold or a higher score. I was 45,536, so I got
Damn,
you
son.
by a couple hundy.
How many times
Did
did you
it.
play it through?
That's true. I think I got this one. I think this was my second playthrough.
Oh, that's not
The
bad.
first one I just did just to do it, and then after that I was like, oh, I can just hang out and kill all these hunters at the end. And then I just took the time to do the light bridge, which I didn't do the first time. I just kind of ran through the mission. And then there are the black boxes. There's the one black box. I think this run, this 45, this high score run, I think I got the black box too. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit with the Grizzly stuff. All right, Krista, what do we have on the battlefield? What's in our toy box?
Grizzlies?
Yeah.
What is a grizzly? Well, let me tell you what a grizzly is. Have you ever thought that a scorpion may be, in fact, underpowered?
Nope.
Have you ever been in a scorpion and been like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm living up to my potential in this
Nope.
scorpion.
Nope.
Well then, sir, this is not for you. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. If you answered yes to any of these questions, may I introduce you to the grizzly, which is literally double scorpion. Instead of one, the firing just takes way too long on one scorpion. So may I say we've added a secondary cannon right next to the first one. So it's easy to use. There's no time in between firing. You just shoot those things off. You could do them. You could do two times, two at a time, one at a time. The options are limitless with our brand new Grizzly. It also goes faster.
Would you call them a dual cannon? Is it a dual
Yeah,
cannon?
perhaps, yes. It's whatever you want it to be. This is your Grizzly.
Mm.
For only 2,000 payments of $19.99.
Right.
This can be yours.
What color is it?
It's the color of a scorpion.
Oh. Okay. That's
If you
fine.
would like it
Can I
painted,
get
it does cost
pink?
extra.
Can I
We
get a
can
pink,
do
Chris?
like metallics, mattes. We can put cushion interiors inside.
Oh, leather
Yeah,
seats?
yeah. But grizzlies are basically like scorpions, but twice the fun. Twice the cannons,
Mhm.
twice the fun. They move faster, more armor, that kind of thing. They're just pretty much explained that it's Forge's pet project and
Yeah.
it's never talked about ever again. So
Which
it's
is
just
weird.
like-
Do you think he was like in the shop building this thing, or
He
was
just,
he
like-
just ordering it? Hey, make the scorpion.
He just
Double.
like took
Double it.
off the top of one scorpion and put it on the other one. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just one of those lines that just is to explain it, so you don't go, "Why haven't I seen that in the Halo universe before?"
Right.
So
Yep. Pretty much.
super cool though, so much fun. Also, we have less interesting things. Like Forge. Forge just kind of walks around. We have Anders, which is great. We like Anders because she will heal our grizzlies. Infinite grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some Marines. And you know what? Some of those Marines look a little weird. Some of them have star ratings.
What?
I'm not sure. Yeah, they must be doing Uber or something. Got those 5-star Uber ratings. But this mission actually introduces veterancy, which is as if you have a group of Marines and you use them a lot, they kind of level up. It's like a level up system.
Mm-hmm.
So
any unit can get it in the game, I think.
Yeah. It just makes it so like you want to keep your original units alive because they'll level up and get stronger.
Yeah, like the more kills, essentially, right? I mean,
I think it's based on kills or time or something like that, or a little bit of both.
It's kills.
It's kills. Okay.
Yeah.
But it honestly makes it so like your units aren't as disposable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, oh my god, my 3-star Marines are gone. No.
Yeah, right. That's a good point because they're pretty powerful, right? They level up. They're pretty beefy.
So one star means they're 15% more defense and 15% more attack.
Mm-hmm.
2 stars is 43, and 3 stars is 95.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
95 more defense, 95 more attack.
They're like double.
Like percent. Yeah, it's crazy.
Kind of like the Scorpion.
Kind of like the Scorpion. Could you imagine a 3-star Grizzly? That's like super triple Scorpion.
Do these Marines have 4 arms?
Maybe they're like General Grievous. Like spin around and everything. That'd be cool. But it's interesting. It's an interesting concept and kind of makes you a little more attached to the characters. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't have a Spirit of Fire ability in this, unfortunately, but Anders kind of makes up for that. We do have some Covenant units, of course. We have Elites, Grunts, and Jackals. We've seen them before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shade turrets. Just 1 or 2 hunters, just a couple. You know. Yeah, and then like 1 Wraith that's kind of hidden off to the side.
Mm-hmm. He'll get you though.
It will, yeah. It'll come out of nowhere, so if you know where it is, you just go out and kill it. But the Grizzlies make quick work of the Wraith. Like, it's really funny. If you use the Grizzlies' ability, it's just like, you're all dead.
Very nice.
Yeah, those are our units.
We I forget if I mentioned the difficulty modifiers in the last one, but there's easy. On easy, all enemies have 50% less health and inflict 50% more damage. Heroic is all enemy units have 10% more health and inflict 10% more damage, which isn't that much for heroic. And then it says hunters have 1 upgrade, which I don't. Well, I guess that makes sense. Like as you're upgrading a hunter's abilities, so they have 1 of those upgrades. And then legendary, all units have 30% more health and inflict 30% more damage. That's not too bad. I feel like this could be totally doable on legendary. Not too difficult. All right, let's get into the mission. You start out, you get these 2 Grizzlies dropped off. Serena mentions, hey, yeah, Forge has been doing some stuff, and these are kind of his thing.
He's got some weird shit going on.
But it's fun to start with the Grizzlies. You have two of these beefy bad boys, and you need to go save. You can scroll up and see Anders and Forge and all your Marines, but you can't actually control them. So you need to get your Grizzlies up to them, team up, and then at that point is when you can grab everybody and start to direct them around. The black box is right away. You might have to go a little bit south of where you get dropped off, but you go off to the left of the map and just kind of go down this little path, and there will be a black box a little further up. There's a crash pelican up there as well, so grab that if you're wanting to grab all of those, and then slowly make your way back to the beginning. The Marines and Forge, actually, they hold their own. So that opening cutscene or actually I guess the opening like in-game cut where they're showing everybody being pinned down, they all hold their own pretty well. They're essentially like snapped to that environment. Anders took some damage for me though.
Did she?
Yeah, while I was kind of going to get the black box and then came back up. She ended up being at about, I think, half health by the time I got up there. So I was a little worried about that, but it all worked out. Yeah, so we just roll. We just send our grizzlies up. David, do you want to kind of take us through your strategy for this at all? Like, how do you start this mission?
With fire and fury, Colin. It's like a 2 grizzlies, and it's.
Are you just hitting R all the time, like R R R?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
What is
No,
R? R isn't on my controller. Where is it?
Yeah, what's your power button? What's your power
Like
move?
Y.
Okay, so you're hitting Y.
Yeah, pretty much. Anytime I can, getting that canister shot off. This is great. Like, it's just a really fun mission. I pretty much keep the grizzlies together, and just I flew through this mission really. It was pretty cool. Just like taking out, seeing hunters. Like when you first initially get like the second objective was like 45 hunters. I'm like, that's a lot of hunters. But like Krysta said, like you get through it pretty easily. But they're pretty fun. I keep them together. I don't really segregate or do anything like that. There's not really a whole lot of exploring in this mission. So it's pretty much just nice and simple, to be honest. Move your way through, get your grizzlies up to forge, and then you get a whole bunch more units.
Yeah.
But it's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
you can kind of go like once you get into the building, it looks like you can go right, so you could go right, but then that bridge isn't activated. So it forces you to the left and then go clockwise around this little map here. It's a rescue mission, and you're overpowered. You feel overpowered though. You feel good. Like these grizzlies, nothing's taking these things down. You'd have to really screw it up for these grizzlies to blow up before you get to the rest of your team. I mean, I took a good amount of damage. But the nice thing is, Krysta mentioned earlier, Anders, she can heal these bad boys.
Yes.
Heal them. So get your grizzlies up there, and then Anders, you select Anders, and then use her special power on your grizzlies, and then those things, that green bar will go all the way back up, and you'll be good to go for the rest of the mission. Pretty nice. Any deviations for you, Krysta, before you team up?
Not really. Before we team up, no. I went to the right first and took out. There's a hunter there, and I think that's where the wraith is.
I think the wraith appears after.
Okay.
Was there a wraith there right away?
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was before. It was before we did. You do all like the mini cutscene and stuff like that in the middle of the mission. So.
Oh, nice. So you can just get rid of it right away.
Yeah, I just got rid of it right away, and then I just started going towards the other objective. I went all the way to the left to make sure there was nothing hiding over there, and then I went up the bridge.
Yeah. And then once you cross the bridge, there's a little wave from the northwest that comes out at you, but usually not much of a problem. Once you clear out them, then you kind of go up into the center, and there's some hunters and whatnot pinning down, and some elites pinning down the main group. But it's not, just some canister shells. Hit your special button for the grizzlies, and you'll clear them out pretty quick. Do take some time, though, as I mentioned. Take some time for Anders to heal up your grizzlies. The 8 minutes, I feel like this mission, if you're really going, you can do that in 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a problem. But so take a little time, heal up your big beasts, and then head to the right. And I think right around that point, I'm forgetting when it says the objectives to kill 45 hunters.
It's when you kill your first hunter at the beginning.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Oh,
That's
it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once you kill your first hunter, you get the objective.
Got it. So the next part is a little bit of a horde type spot where there's the other light bridge. I think once you cross the initial light bridge, it must deactivate. I don't think I even went over there to check. But then you have the other light bridge that's on the right of the map that Anders needs to go hack. And so you'll send her down. She chimes in and says, "Hey, I'll go take care of this." You send her down to the console, and then you have a little timer that starts, a little 60-second timer that will count down. But it's never really a problem. I feel like I've never died at this point.
No.
And they don't send that many enemies at you, so it's not terribly stressful.
Yeah, and you have grizzlies.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Well, there are 2 spawn doors on the left and 2 spawn doors on the right, so I just put 1 grizzly by the left and 1 grizzly by the right.
Yeah.
Just waited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. and they clean them up as they come in, which is pretty slick. The light bridge will activate after the 60 seconds. You'll send everybody over, and then there's a console on the other side. So this is the other optional objective. Some of the Covenant will follow you. They'll kind of continue to come through those doors and follow you. You got to get your entire squad off the light bridge, send Anders over to the console, and then she can deactivate the console. And that objective will pop if you kill at least 5 of the Covenant that are hovering on top of that light bridge when it disappears.
There's a cool little animation of them dying, falling to their doom. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like how that's an objective, an optional objective, whereas if it wasn't, it would be like, oh, some people could experience this and like they're, I don't know, breaking the game or something like that, just having fun. But the fact that they say, hey, you can do this, makes it, makes more people experience that, which I think is good. When you cross down on the bottom, there's the Wraith, right when you cross. If you didn't kill it, like I don't think I did, but if you were Krysta, then that thing shouldn't be a problem. And then just head down and out, and really all you need to do, get everybody down. So here's the one thing is the skull will pop once you hit the 45 kill count on the hunters, but it'll pop way back where everybody was at the top of the map.
Oh, so you could just leave some Marines up there.
Yep, so you could either leave some... Yep, good point. You could leave some Marines up there, or what I did is I just sent a Grizzly up. Just a single Grizzly. Most of the resistance is gone at that point, and just kind of parked everybody right before the landing zone, sent the Grizzly up. But you needed to get to the 45 hunters, and I wasn't there right away. Once I got into that main corridor where you enter and exit.
I just sat my Grizzlies there and waited till the kill count was at 45, and then I left. Exactly. I totally forgot that was a thing, though, so I was taking my time through the mission, trying to see if they're hidden somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, you can just go through the mission, and then just sit there, kill the 45 hunters, and then continue on. Yeah,
there's a door on the left that just keep pumping them out. Pumping out those Logolo.
I don't want to think about pumping out in hunters.
Oh.
God damn it, Krysta.
Good Lord.
Sorry.
If you were smart, you had a Marine way up top to grab that skull, and it is what did I write down? Is it the cowbell? Yeah, it's the cowbell skull.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And then head further down, and then you're done. There's some lights and some smoke. That's your landing zone, and then the Pelican will come and grab you.
It's really a simple mission, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a good OP.
Well, and it's a great way to introduce the Grizzlies and show you that they're special, and not just a Scorpion tank. Because if you see them side by side, they look pretty much the same. But it was nice that they highlighted them in this way, so you're like, oh, this is way better than a Scorpion tank. This is my new go-to vehicle.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's a good way to introduce Anders' special ability too.
Yes.
So on both fronts. But so it's just an extension of a tutorial. These first 3 missions are really tutorial.
I like these kind of missions where you don't have a base, though, and you're like, these are your resources through the entire mission. Make it work.
Yeah, I almost asked that question. I didn't from a community, but it was like, do you prefer when you get a build, or would you rather to say, okay, here's your set, and maybe we'll send in a couple bits of reinforcements. It's just a different way of looking at it, right?
I like both. It just it makes it so all the missions don't just bleed together.
Yeah, that's good.
There's good variety in this game. Yeah.
Do you have, I guess, David, would you prefer one way or the other as you're playing RPS?
I'm kind of like Krysta. I do actually like both. I mean, it's great to break up the game and to kind of give you different unit types like that you wouldn't necessarily have early in the tech tree kind of stuff. So I do like that. And again, because of how I play these games, if every game was build a base, I would just build it, turtle it, and then it would just be the same.
Yeah.
Me playing the same mission just on different maps, essentially.
And that's, to a degree, that's what multiplayer is for, right?
Yeah.
The campaign is supposed to mix it up and show you different things and give you more interesting, maps and puzzles, I guess. I kind of look at these as puzzle games to a degree. you have this objective, you need to solve it. You got to do it many different ways, and through different tactics and whatnot. But it's a puzzle. Each one of these is a puzzle for me. Cool. The Cutter hops on and says at the very end, he says, "Good work, Professor. I want to be briefed on your findings as soon as you're on board. What is this map? What's going on?" So more about that in the next mission. All right, any trivia points? I feel like this is a super quick episode, so I don't know what to do right now.
Yeah, it's pretty short. Man, that's just the nature of this mission.
Bite-sized.
This kind of game. Two kind of small bits, really. You already covered the Cowboy Skull. The black box is actually at the very start of the mission.
Yep, I mentioned that.
You mentioned that, so that's the two things, really. There is... Apparently, if you lose all your units, Forge and Anders are down, you still won't fail the mission, but it's actually impossible to finish the mission, which is kind of weird.
Interesting. So you just have to restart.
Yeah. Apparently, as well, if you wait for a while, the Marines that are defending Forge and Anders before they're yours, they'll actually take a lot of damage and kill a lot of enemies. They'll actually gain veterancy points. Like, you can wait to rescue them and let them build up and get like stronger Marines when they eventually become yours.
Yeah, I think that's what happened when I took the time to get the black box. By the time I got up there, they had a couple stars on, which was handy, and they had barely any health gone.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
But then you'd be butting up if you're trying to get a high score. You're butting up against that 8-minute time frame where your multiplier starts to decrease.
That's true. Yeah. That's pretty much it. The only thing else really I thought was interesting is that the Grizzly tank is actually very similar to the Mammoth tank, which is a tank from Command and Conquer in that franchise. They look very similar. They have like 4 treads, double barrel tank kind of thing.
Well, this thing has like 6 treads, I think. There's 2 on the outside on each side, and then there's 2 in the middle.
Right side. Yeah.
Unless it's like one big tread in the middle, which I don't know if that would make sense.
I don't know.
I don't know how treads work.
Cool.
I don't either. Cool. All right, let's do that black box. What did that black box have to say that we grabbed?
All right. So, from the office of the High Prophet of Regret, return at the fastest possible speed to the world they know as Harvest. We must learn the secrets inside the Holy Relic before the great journey can continue. The humans must not be allowed to enter the artifact. We will do whatever we must to deny them access. All must be resolute in this task or face punishment. So, it's kind of a fuck the humans. Fuck those guys. Right.
So it's been a long time since I played Halo Wars, and I know what happens, like some of the key moments, but I forget like why, all the reasons and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to go through, and I'm not gonna play ahead. It'll be fun to be reminded of the plot, and especially as we're walking
I remember
slower.
Vaguely what happens and where they go and what they do, but I don't remember exactly like how everything happens.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Let's do some community.
Oh,
what do we have?
Ooh.
Do we want to do that email real quick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, read that email real quick. So thanks for writing in.
Yeah, we got an email, which was pretty cool. So there were essentially kind of about trivia, which was kind of interesting as well. So a listener by the name of Mr. Chief sent us an email.
Chief.
So, yeah, Mr. Chief. Which is pretty cool. So he pretty much just says that the spirit in the previous mission, which is what was the Relic Approach?
Approach, yes, correct. Yep.
Yeah. Is the first time in a Halo game that you can destroy a spirit, which is actually really, really interesting. Canonically, cool. Pretty much. So I never actually copped that, so I thought it was pretty cool.
So is that that you said canonically, or is that like
in terms
first
of like
time
the game release, like kind of
game
stuff.
release?
Yeah.
Right, we've been able to take down phantoms, but not the spirit dropship, which is cool.
Yeah,
and those blow up a lot in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of blowing up stuff.
Nice, thank you for writing in.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate that tip. What does Facebook have to say on the community side of my awesome question this week?
Your awesome question is Colin Perkins, January 21st. 10:26 p.m. A pair of Megolo just joined your squad. What do you name them? Question information debrief. Halo Wars Relic Interior mission. All right. Good few actually. To be fair, a lot of comments. So we got Itchy and Scratchy from Alan Acorn.
That made me chuckle. That was the first one. I was like, yes, it's on the right track. I love this.
Trendon, don't know who this guy is. It says George and Johnson. That was pretty cool. Manny says shake and bake, baby.
Oh shit!
Cool. Lucas gave us a few. We got Harold and Kumar, Mike and Ike, Calvin and Hobbs, George and the Slipspace Drive. Santiago says Karen and Carol for trying to fuck over my grizzled. Okay.
I don't get that reference.
I don't know either.
Okay.
But whatever.
Sorry.
My grizzled. Okay. Patrick says Calvin and Hobbs. Lance as Jake the dog and Finn the human.
Yay!
We have Ryan Jones says Mario and Luigi.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew says Tyson Rios and Elliot Salem. I don't know what that is. Bonus points if anyone knows who they're Googling. Very funny. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Me and pop culture don't hang out that much these days, so
yeah,
forgive
whatever.
me.
Sabrina says I call the big one Bitey.
That's good.
Adam says Walker and Texas Ranger, which is excellent.
Also,
Rob Holland says Tiny and Tank. Jason says Tango and Cash. Chris has Des and Troy. Together they make Destroy. Yes,
that's Sal.
Yeah, that's it, Sal. Yeah. Oren the Mang, this chump. He says the Blues Brothers. That was okay. It's okay.
That's good.
Joey says, Orange, you glad I didn't give you grunts.
Playing the color. Love it.
Yeah, there you go. That's Facebook. Thank you very much, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks. What's Discord have to say?
Same question. This lovely human called Snark. Very, very lovely. Love him a lot. Great person. Says Krysta and the best host. Very good. Love it. Thank you. Now, there are some throwing up emojis on this comment. Throwing up reactions. Who the fuck did that? Excuse me?
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but they're banned. I'm gonna find them and they're all banned. How dare they? But Krysta is the best host. I agree with that. Dizzy Bumper says daddy and mommy and daddy and daddy.
Nice. All right. I like that.
Dizudo says foo kami and foo kayu. FOOK-ME FOOK-UYU. So
Phonetics, people.
very fun. Matt says number 1 and number 3 to make your enemies paranoid that number 2 is going to attack at some point.
That's clever.
I like that.
I like that.
Barlett King says spaghetti and linguine.
Ooh, that's good.
It's very good. Ian says Chef Boyardee and SpaghettiOs.
Okay.
Crickets.
Everyone
Sorry.
loves Chef Boyardee. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Samrise or Rye says Grim and Reaper. Uncouth Slut says Stacy and Tiffany.
Hot dating.
Moonseal says Worms and Kevin's.
That's good.
Shadow of Oni says Little and Wormies, because they're made up of little wormies. And
Accurate.
finally, Physical Sky says Mo and Lester. I
Awesome.
don't get all of these and I feel stupid.
Yep. Just make all your references 80s and 90s references, and I will get them.
No, I don't get those either. Can you have more TikTok references? I get the TikToks.
Oh, the TikTok. You got the
Yeah.
TikToks, huh?
Yeah, hit or miss, maybe? That would be a good one.
Sounds like a neat one. Now what do we do? I feel like, should we fill some time?
How's your days going, guys? You
My
having a
day's
good week?
I got some good days.
Yeah.
Got some good
Wanna
days? Yeah.
Want to start the episode again?
Yeah.
Let's just.
Yeah,
just do it over
welcome,
again.
Spartans, to Halo Podcast Evolved. We'll just go into the next
No.
podcast straight away. How about that?
All right, quick one for you guys this week. We will be back with a healthy dose of frustration on the next one.
Oh,
That will,
Oh, no.
That will do it for our debriefing of the Relic Interior mission from Halo Wars on the next episode. Like I said, Arcadia City,
Uh-oh.
not my favorite.
Really?
your
I
thoughts.
haven't noticed from social media.
Send us your thoughts at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. You can also support the show by visiting Podcast Evolved on Patreon. Until next time, evolved.
Evolved.
Evolved.